Sage of Thunder Sakura actually had a story quest. But since that would have been interesting, obviously it no longer exists. Sakura's Trustmaster reward is a materia that nullifies silence, boosts lightning resistance by 30%, and boosts the limit burst gauge fill rate by 100%. It's a nice set of niche abilities, but I don't think anyone will ever search for these individually, and with the relatively average boosts, I think it's safe to say the majority of you will soon forget this exists. Her Super Trustmaster reward is a lot more interesting. It boosts defense and spirit, but more importantly, there's 50% lightning resistance and a double killer against plants and fairies. Admittedly, it's still niche though, and overall, offensive units tend to prefer stats on their equipment if you can cover those killers through other options. Onto her active abilities. True Thunderstone imbues lightning onto your allies, boosts their lightning damage by 30%, and boosts their lightning, earth, and dark elemental resistance by 100%. Status Reset grants your team resistance to the given status ailments. And that would be it if she didn't have magic spells. All 4 spells can be awakened further, giving her a strong set of abilities to work with. Passives. But for Trustmaster reward or Super Trustmaster reward equipped, whoa, that's with Rama. But only Rama, and Rama really isn't that Bahamut's level. It also raises Rama's evoke damage, and boosts her magic further when holding a single weapon. As you might expect, she prefers to carry a single weapon, preferably a rod, and though she has no killers in this form, she does have a small limit burst regen. Her normal attack's been changed to deal lightning damage and boost her team's lightning damage by 15%. Furthermore, at the start of the battle, she automatically grants her team a 200% stat buff, a 100% limit burst damage buff, a 100% fire resistance buff, and fills the evocation gauge by a solid amount. If she is at EX plus 2, she'll also get access to an instant limit burst. Speaking of which, let's look at her limit burst. It dispels the enemy, boosts your team's stats by 300%, boosts their limit burst damage by 200%, and removes any debuffs from your team. Time to change forms. Sakura's Brave Shift has a 3-turn duration and a 4-turn cooldown. Active abilities. Sage's support deals lightning evoke damage that chains a floating strike, fills a large chunk of your team's MP, and fills the evocation gauge for a net gain of 2. Sage's Rage boosts your team's attack and magic by 280%, grants your team a strong double fairy and plant killer, and fills the evocation gauge for another net gain of 2. 2 Sage's Fortification requires the full evocation gauge. It removes any attack and magic breaks on your team, boosts their attack and magic by 300%, boosts their limit burst gauge by a chunky amount, refills a large amount of MP, and lets them use Rama Chain, a lightning evoke attack that chains up the ever-popular Graviton Cannon. And with this ability, I suppose it will be. At EX plus 3, Sakura unlocks Plant Slayer, Slayer of Plants, which, believe it or not, gives the power to slay pants. Passives. Everything's the same, but she does have one new passive, an area effect of Rama, which, oh my gosh, it tells me what it does. Bonus Lightning Imperil, very helpful. Other than that, everything's the same. She does have more lightning resistance, like a lot more, but I can't quite figure out which passive it's coming from, so I suppose they just tacked it on. Let's look at her Limit Burst. It grants your team a hefty 350% full stat boost, raises their lightning damage by a significant 45%, and boosts their Limit Burst damage by 250%. Now, let's rank Brave abilities. I'd prioritize True Thunderstone for more elemental resistances, Sage's Rage for more stat boosts, and Sage's Support just raises damage. So, EX2? As a non-super Limit Burst user, Sakura doesn't get any one-turn cooldowns of some sort. But she does get new abilities. At EX plus 2, she gets an instant Limit Burst, which can significantly speed up a fight, what with her Brave Shift's Limit Burst magnitude and its hefty cost. This is especially potent in fights that reward lightning, like Dark Visions. At EX plus 3, she gets Pants Slayer. I've tested it out myself, but it doesn't really knock off Wilhelm's pants any faster, which is incredibly disappointing. Overall, you find far more use from EX plus 2 than EX plus 3, but it's not quite as significant as Lord of the Seas Nico's presence, which I'll explain in the next segment. How good is Sage of Thunder Sakura? So how good is Sage of Thunder Sakura? Well, she's Lord of the Seas Nico, which means she's just as effective at her element. And Lord of the Seas Nico is the premier water supporter, so you can rest assured that Sakura is a supporting powerhouse. Unfortunately, there is one thing that she lacks: Avalanche's Tifa. And by that I mean a lightning finisher. Look at the strongest damage dealer list. Not a single one of them uses lightning. Now you could use her with non-elemental units, or lightning units that aren't here, and that would work just fine. However, damage is 2 ways. A top tier damage supporter only really shines with a top tier damage dealer. Thanks for watching, and if you like this video, then leave a like and subscribe. Comment below if you got Sage of Thunder Sakura. She's a very good unit, but due to the current lack of lightning damage dealers, she won't be as popular as Lord of the Seas Nicole. But I mean, we do have Global Original Hooded Bunny, so